Hello, welcome back to another Maker Monday video. Today we're going to be doing some spinning again, but this time using the great wheel. So to start off, I'm going to talk a little bit about this wheel, show you the parts of it, and then we'll get into a demonstration. All right, let's go. All right, so we're a little bit closer, so hopefully you can see this wheel a little bit better. This is what we call a great wheel or a walking wheel. And it has three main parts that are what make it function. So we've got the spindle, just like on our drop spindle. In fact, if you take a look at this, it really just looks like if you took that drop spindle and turned it on its side. And then you attached it to a drive band. These can be made out of thread, sometimes even leather or yarn. The drive band is what's going to spin the spindle. And the way that we are going to make that band work is by hand spinning this large wheel. It's really similar to a bicycle if you think about it. That if this is the wheel, we've got your bicycle chain attached to where your pedal is moving the chain that spins the wheel. Right? So let's take a look at this in action. Okay, so to get started, I've already got some yarn that I spun on here, and then I've got some loose fiber that has not been spun yet. The great wheel was typically used for spinning wool. The method of spinning, when we get into it, is something called long draw. And that would actually help add some loft to the yarn and would make it nice and warm, perfect for wool. However, I do not have wool today. This fiber is actually one that would not be historic to us here in Mecklenburg County. This is alpaca. It just happens to be what I had on hand and what one of the things that I really enjoy spinning with. So that's what we're going to be working with. The same process, no matter what type of fiber you're using, you're doing the same thing with it. You may just have to make some adjustments based on the length of the staple or the length of those fibers, right? So let's see some action here. Okay, so with my finger, I'm going to spin this wheel, and as I'm spinning it, you can see there's a little pop right there on the end where that spindle is hitting the yarn that's already spun. Just like with the drop spindle, you can see where that energy is being stored up, that potential energy waiting to bust out into this area. Okay, so when I move my finger and we let that spin move in, it's going to travel up the fiber. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little less slow so you can get more of what the normal flow would be. Like I mentioned, this method is called the long draw because you're pulling out a nice long piece as you're spinning. And one of the reasons this would be called the walking wheel is because you're walking back as you get more and more fiber. Now once you're ready to add that yarn onto your spindle, you just spin it around in the same direction as you're spinning. And when you wanted to add some more fiber, I've got my little stash here, just pull some out. And again, like we did with the drop spindle, you just kind of hold it on there and let some of that twist travel up, and that will connect the two pieces. A major part of spinning on the great wheel is the angle that you're holding your yarn at. That's going to help you. This kind of almost 45-degree angle is going to be what you need for that tip of the spindle to bounce against this and add the twist that we're looking for. Now, if you're really good at spinning with the great wheel, you can have basically just one long pull and then wind back on. I'm not excellent at it, so I usually do one kind of loose long draw and then I go back again and just smooth it out. Now these would be the types of wheels that the colonists had in America and that were still in homes up until the Civil War. In some areas of the world, they were even used, well into the 19th, even the 20th century in certain areas. Obviously, these would not be ideal for very long once the Industrial Revolution came along for spinning on a large scale, but they were still used by home spinners. And when you're ready to stop spinning, you can just wrap your thread around here and leave it. Come back to it when you need it. When you filled up this bobbin, you would just take it out and slide this off. On the inside, you can see I took a corn husk and wrapped it around the spindle first so that I can easily slide it off. If you don't put either wax paper or corn husk on there, when you go to slide your yarn off the spindle, a lot of times it's just too tightly spun on there. It makes it hard to get off. All right, so that's it for this video. In our next video, we will be taking a look at the treadle wheel. I did want to mention before we go that this wheel is actually not a part of our collection. This is an antique wheel owned by Laura Bain, who is a member of the Catawba Valley Fiber Guild. So thank you, Laura, for letting us borrow this wheel. You may have noticed our scenery has changed. We're actually here in the exhibit today. And in our exhibit in the museum, we have a wheel that's very similar to this one on display. So it's great to have something that visitors can see on display and then see exactly how that item would have worked. So thank you again, Laura. Otherwise, that's going to be it. Let us know if you have any questions. You can leave them in the comments below, or you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or at jameskpolk.net. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.